So you definitely think Omoda is just another forgettable Chinese brand trying to survive in a crowded market. Yeah, that's exactly what Toyota thought. That's what Volkswagen believed. That's what every legacy automaker was quietly counting on. And that's precisely why they're all scrambling behind closed doors right now. Because while you were sleeping on Omoda, dismissing them as irrelevant, they were doing something the entire industry wasn't prepared for. They weren't copying the Europeans. They weren't chasing Tesla. No. They were quietly engineering vehicles so dangerously capable, so ruthlessly priced, and so visually stunning that when the automotive world finally looked up, it was already too late. Here's what nobody in the industry wants you to know. Omoda just unveiled their 2026 model lineup, and I'm not using clickbait when I say this. These cars are making luxury flagships look embarrassingly outdated, making performance icons look slow, and making every automotive executive question everything they thought they understood about the modern car market. And the part that's going to genuinely shock you, the price tags. Oh, the price tags are going to make you furious you ignored this brand for so long. We're talking about SUVs with technology that embarrasses a Range Rover. We're talking about sedans that humiliate German performance cars at a fraction of the cost. We're talking about an automotive revolution that the legacy brands are desperately trying to hide from your timeline. There are two things in this video that are going to completely change how you see the car market forever. First, the performance numbers that have supercar manufacturers quietly panicking. Second, the pricing strategy so aggressive it should be illegal. This isn't a Chinese brand playing catch-up anymore. Omoda is playing a completely different game, and the establishment hasn't figured out the rules yet. Stay with me, share this with every car enthusiast you know, and get ready to have everything you thought you knew completely demolished. Welcome to the best car channel on YouTube. This is Atif Cars. Let's expose what they don't want you to see. Number 5. Omoda E5 2026. We open this list with the model that started the fire, the vehicle that first made legacy brands nervous and that now returns in 2026 more dangerous than ever. This is the Omoda E5 2026, the compact SUV that refuses to stay in its lane and arrives this year with upgrades so significant that calling it a facelift would be an insult. Omoda did what they always do best. They listened, they improved, and then they over-delivered. No gimmicks, no empty promises, just cold, calculated execution that their competitors still haven't learned how to answer. Let's talk power first, because that's where Omoda drew first blood. The 2026 Omoda E5 arrives with a turbocharged powertrain pushing out 197 horsepower paired with an intelligent all-wheel drive system that reacts faster than any driver ever could. It doesn't sound like much until you sit inside it, feel the instant throttle response, and realize this thing moves with a confidence that cars costing 3 times the price simply cannot match. Omoda didn't chase numbers for marketing slides. They built a powertrain that performs in the real world every single day without complaint. The design evolution is equally striking. The 2026 version carries Omoda's signature Star-era design language, but pushed further. A bolder front face with sharp LED blade lighting that cuts through traffic visually before you even accelerate, sculpted body panels that create genuine drama from every angle, and elevated roofline that gives presence without sacrificing the aerodynamic efficiency the platform demands. This isn't a car designed by committee. This is a car designed to make people stop and stare. Inside, Omoda delivered a cabin that genuinely embarrasses rivals in this price bracket. Premium soft-touch materials across every surface you actually touch, a panoramic display system running their latest interface, ambient lighting with full personalization, and rear passenger space that makes competing compact SUVs feel claustrophobic by comparison. They built this interior as if price was no object, then priced the entire package at approximately $22,000, and that right there is why dealerships cannot keep them in stock. Number 4. Omoda E7 2026. If the Omoda 5 started the conversation, the Omoda 7 2026 ended the debate. This is the midsize SUV that walked into a segment dominated by brands with decades of reputation and immediately made everyone else look like they stopped trying. Omoda built the 7 with a singular philosophy: if you're going to compete, compete completely, and that's exactly what they did. The Omoda 7 sits on a longer wheelbase, carries a more commanding road presence, and arrives in 2026 with powertrain options that make its price point feel genuinely criminal. The performance version delivers 254 horsepower through a refined dual-clutch transmission that finds the right gear before your brain finishes processing the instruction. Acceleration is immediate, response is surgical, and the all-wheel drive system distributes torque with an intelligence that costs significantly more in any European rival. What truly separates the Omoda 7 from the competition is the tech stack they buried inside this price bracket. A full ADAS suite including automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control with lane centering, blind spot monitoring, and a 360-degree camera so sharp it makes parking feel like cheating. These are features that legacy brands charge thousands extra for as options. Omoda includes them standard, and that decision alone is making fleet buyers across 3 continents reconsider every purchasing contract they have. Globally, this model sits around $27,000, and the waiting lists speak louder than any advertisement ever could.
Number 3. Omoda 9 2026. We enter the top 3 with the model that changed Omoda's entire identity overnight. This is the Omoda 9 2026, the flagship SUV that announced to the world that this brand was no longer playing in the budget conversation. The Omoda 9 is expensive by Omoda standards, accessible by any other, and absolutely devastating to the competition in every measurable way. Omoda designed the 9 from a blank sheet with one target in mind: destroy the value proposition of every premium SUV between $40,000 and $70,000. It's an arrogant goal. They achieved it completely. The body is massive, commanding, and unmistakably premium. Full-length LED light signatures front and rear, a grille treatment that communicates authority without screaming for attention, flush door handles, 21-inch wheels that fill the arches with a presence that makes competitors look underdressed. This is a vehicle that looks like it costs twice what Omoda is actually charging. The powertrain beneath that dramatic exterior delivers 310 horsepower through an all-wheel drive system tuned for genuine performance without sacrificing the refinement that this segment demands. Ride quality is exceptional. Road isolation is at a level that previously required spending $60,000 minimum. Omoda's engineers spent years calibrating this suspension, and every kilometer spent in the passenger seat proves they got it right. The interior of the Omoda 9 is the moment this brand officially left the budget conversation forever. Panoramic glass roof spanning the entire ceiling, captain's chairs in the second row with full reclining and massage functions, a refrigerated center console, a Dolby Atmos certified sound system, ambient lighting with 256 color configurations, and a dashboard architecture so refined that journalists who drove it early stopped comparing it to Chinese rivals and started comparing it to Germans. At approximately $42,000, the Omoda 9 doesn't just compete, it humiliates. Number 2. Omoda E5 2026. In second position comes the model that represents Omoda's most important strategic weapon in the entire 2026 lineup. This is the Omoda E5 2026, the fully electric compact SUV that arrives at a moment when electric vehicle skepticism is at its highest and proceeds to systematically dismantle every objection the market has raised. Omoda didn't build the E5 to chase trends. They built it to answer the actual question that real buyers ask every single day. Can I trust an electric vehicle from a brand I've just discovered? The answer Omoda gives with the E5 is not a brochure, it's a vehicle with a 430-kilometer real-world range confirmed across multiple independent tests in varying climate conditions. It's a fast-charging architecture that recovers 120 kilometers of range in 11 minutes, a figure that makes stopping for charge feel less like a compromise and more like a coffee break. And it's a battery chemistry so thermally stable that cold weather range loss, the issue that kills EV credibility in practical markets, is reduced to a fraction of what competitors suffer. The electric drivetrain produces 201 horsepower with instant torque delivery that transforms urban driving into something genuinely entertaining. The E5 doesn't feel like an electric vehicle you chose for environmental reasons. It feels like an electric vehicle you chose because it's simply the better driving experience. That distinction matters enormously to first-time EV buyers, and Omoda understands this better than brands who have been building electric cars for a decade. Inside, the E5 carries the same premium ambition as the rest of the 2026 lineup. Full-length panoramic roof, a 15.6-inch central touchscreen running Omoda's dedicated EV interface with integrated charging network navigation, sustainable interior materials that feel premium without any compromise on tactile quality, and a boot space figure that makes EV buyers realize they never had to sacrifice practicality. Globally priced around $30,000, the Omoda E5 is the electric vehicle that makes early adopters look like visionaries and late adopters feel like they waited too long.
Number 1. Jaecoo J8 2026.
And now, here we are, number 1. The launch that has import communities, automotive press, and legacy brand boardrooms all talking about the same vehicle for completely different emotional reasons. This is the Jaecoo J8 2026, the premium midsize SUV that arrives as Omoda's sister brand's clearest statement of intent yet, and that intent is nothing less than the complete destruction of every argument that European and Japanese SUV makers have been hiding behind for decades. The Jaecoo is spectacular. That is not hyperbole. That is the consensus of every independent reviewer who has spent serious time with this machine. And Jaecoo earned that word by making decisions that no manufacturer at this price point has ever had the confidence to make simultaneously. The exterior is genuinely commanding, a bold, upright front face that communicates authority without apology, chiseled body lines that create shadow and drama from every angle, full-length LED light signatures that frame the vehicle with a visual precision that makes rivals costing twice the price look timid by comparison. This is a vehicle designed by people who were furious that premium design was being rationed exclusively to buyers with enormous budgets. The powertrain beneath that dramatic exterior delivers 261 horsepower through a smooth 9-speed automatic transmission paired with an intelligent all-wheel drive system tuned for genuine performance without sacrificing the refinement that this segment demands. Ride quality is exceptional, composure is total, and the off-road capability this platform delivers in real-world conditions makes every soft-roader in this segment look like it was built purely for parking lots and Instagram backdrops. This is a vehicle designed by people who were furious that premium design was being rationed exclusively to buyers with enormous budgets. The powertrain beneath that dramatic exterior delivers 261 horsepower through a smooth 9-speed automatic transmission paired with an intelligent all-wheel drive system tuned for genuine performance without sacrificing the refinement that this segment demands. Inside the Jaecoo assembled the cabin that the automotive world genuinely did not believe was possible below $45,000. Premium Nappa leather surfaces across every panel your hands and body actually contact. A panoramic floating display system running Jaecoo's most advanced software build to date. A Meriden sound system delivering audio clarity that transforms every commute into something worth staying in the car for. Second-row captain's chairs with full reclining capability and ventilation, and a boot space so generous that the Jaecoo competes convincingly with vehicles positioned an entire segment above it. The roof structure is a statement on its own, a full-length panoramic glass ceiling that floods the cabin with natural light and gives rear passengers an openness that premium European SUVs charge thousands extra to deliver as an option. Jaecoo includes its standard. That single decision tells you everything about this brand's philosophy. The price confirmed for global markets sits around $35,000, and that number, that single number, is precisely why Toyota's product team is uncomfortable, why Land Rover's entry-level lineup suddenly looks dangerously overpriced, and why every executive in the traditional automotive industry spent the morning after Jaecoo's reveal asking their engineers the same question: how did they build this for that price? They built it because Jaecoo and Omoda are not playing the game the way it was designed to be played. They rewrote the rules entirely. And by the time the establishment finishes studying the rulebook, Jaecoo will have already sold a generation of vehicles to customers who were simply waiting for exactly this moment. So there you have it. 5 models, 2 brands, 1 unstoppable force, and an industry that will never look the same again. If you want to see which other brands are being forced to respond to this revolution, the next video is already waiting for you. Click it now because this story is only just getting started.